Mahadeva, 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 Mahadeva. Is the sound and video okay?
Mahadev Swamiji. It is okay, Swamiji.
All right, we begin. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshrishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanaghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Padabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane. Om Yasya Nishvasitam Vedaha Yo Vedebhyo Kilan Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram. Now, in the sequence of bringing the pramanas for Jivanmukti, Vidyaranya Swami has brought the topic of Gunatita, a person who has transcended the three gunas. And this happens to be the section from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14th. So here we begin. The golden rule should never be forgotten. Just by saying that there is Jivanmukti, Jivanmukti does not get established or does not become evident. A common rule for anything to become evident is Lakshana Pramana Abhyam Vastu Siddhihi Natu Pratijna Matrena. Just by announcing, nothing happens. That announcement is only saying that, well, it is, something is there. But that is there will become evident only through Lakshana and Pramana. Okay, Pramana, the meaning of the word Pramana is means of knowledge, the tool through which something is known. And so over here, we have Bhagavad Gita as the Pramanam, since it echoes the Upanishad to its farthest end. Hence, Bhagavad Gita also has the status of being an Upanishad, though it is a Smriti. Gunatitaha Chaturdashadhyaye Varnitaha. So Gunatita, the one who has transcended the gunas, is described in the 14th chapter. And in the beginning, before he started giving the praman, he had said that in different places, the Jivanmukta has been described with different names. Sthita Prajna, Bhagavad Bhakta, Gunatita, Brahmanaha, Ativarnashrami, by all these names. And thus, following that sequence, now he brings to us Gunatita Purushaha, the one who has transcended the gunas. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha, Kairlingai Strin Gunanetan, Kairlingai Strin Gunanetan, Atito Bhavati Prabho, Atito Bhavati Prabho, Kimacharah Kathanchaitan, Kimacharah Kathanchaitan, Trin Gunanati Vartate, Trin Gunanati Vartate. Kairlingaihi, through which indications? Through what are those indications through which Etan Trin Gunan Atito Bhavati Prabho? What are those indications through which the person who has transcended the three gunas can be known? How is he? Through what are his indications? Kimacharaha. What are his transactions? What is his conduct? Kimacharaha. And then the third question is, Kathancha etan trin gunan ativartate, and how are these three gunas transcended? This is the question. Years ago, when I used to be in service of Dandi Swamiji, Swami Hamsananji Maharaj, one gentleman had come to Swamiji, and how we prattle what we have heard here and there, but some people do take those words very, very seriously. And so he came to Swamiji and he had asked Swamiji that I'm drowning in this samsara, how to come out of it. This is how we have always phrased it. हम इस संसार में डूबते चले जा रहे हैं, स्वामी जी इससे कैसे बाहर निकले? And this is true, we don't find ourselves in the quagmire where we are constantly sinking into, what do they call? The blows brought to us by the samsara, one after another. There is something of the other to deal with at every moment. Having finished one, as if the second thing was just waiting in line. And so one after another, and constantly, so this is like, just, a drowning person who comes out, maybe just to take a little breath, and then he drowns again, he submerges again. Like that, the samsara is constantly drowning us in suffering, grief, sadness, so on and so forth. So he asked this question, in that I'm drowning in this samsara, how to come out? And Swamiji, in his most simplicity, he said that you are already beyond samsara. You are already beyond samsara. Samsara hai hi kitna? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, itna hi to samsara hai. That what you call as samsara, which is sitting like a burden on your shoulders and constantly, like a mountain on your shoulder, under which you seem to be have got crushed is how big just Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. And you, by the very virtue that you are the witness of all that, you are already beyond it. Where has the samsara ever touched you? Arjuna's question also can be seen in the same light, as this entire samsara is nothing but the interplay of the three gunas. And therefore, everybody seems to have got entangled in these three gunas. How to get out of it? Katham means it is demanding an answer to know how. How can these three gunas be transcended? And one very simple answer is, remind yourself of your true nature. Even that smriti, and that's why Bhagavan Shri Krishna has placed so much importance on smriti in the second chapter, where he said that smriti bhramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. What is that smriti? Remembering the teaching of the Upanishad. That is the smriti. Even if you hold on to that Atma is Brahman, I do not know at this moment, but no harm is ever happening to me, no matter how threatening this samsara is. This problem seems to be so big that it appears that it will extinguish my existence. Not to be afraid, but to remind yourself of what is the nature of the self. Once I remember Swami Tejavananji said a very beautiful thing. And, he said that, don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problem how big your God is. So now, katham etan trin gunan ativartate. How are these three gunas transcended? So there are these three questions in Arjuna's, the shloka spoken by Arjuna. What are the indications? How is his conduct? What is his conduct? And how are these three gunas transcended? So now let us look at this question first, because when the question is well understood, the answer also is then after easy to assimilate. Trayo gunaha. What are these three gunas? Sattva, rajas, tamamsi. Three gunas, sattva guna, rajo guna and tamo guna. Tesham parinama visheshat sarva samsaraha pravartate. The whole world is coming into existence as the modification of these three gunas. So what is this samsara? Nothing but the three gunas appearing in different shapes. That's all. And in different proportions, different shapes, different names and forms. That's all. Tesham parinama visheshat. It is just the modification. Parinama means modification of these three gunas is this samsara, is the samsara. Ataha gunati tattvam asamsari tattvam. Then therefore, what is the meaning of the word gunatita? Asamsari. Okay? Asamsaritvam. Gunati tattvam means asamsaritvam. And that asamsaritvam means Jivanmuktatvam iti yavat. Otherwise, we are going to wonder that why are we discussing Gunatitatvam? We should be discussing Jivanmuktatvam. Why are we discussing that? Because Gunatitatvam means Gunatitatvam means asamsaritvam. That asamsaritvam means Jivanmuktatvam iti yavat. That is to be understood. Lingani, what are those indications? Indications means, linga means indications. What are those indications? Lingani, paresham etadiya gunati tattva bodhakani. Those indications become the bodhakas, become they aid the knowledge, help in generating the knowledge. Knowledge about what? That the person has transcended the gunas, gunati tattva bodhakani, paresham, and for others, they will become, for obviously Arjuna's question is about how others would know. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Ka bhasha means?
Paribhasha.
Ka paribhasha. Like that. Ka paribhasha. What is the definition? Definition is meant for whom? For him to define himself. No, for others to understand. And therefore, over here also that linga, the indication is meant for others to understand. Acharaha. Achara means the conduct. Acharanam, his behavior. His transactions with the world. Kimacharaha, how does he transact with the world? Tadiya manassanchara prakaraha. So also that means tadiya manassanchara prakaraha. In what way does his mind function? In what way does his mind function? Tadiya manassanchara prakaraha. Tadiya means kasya? Gunatitasya manassanchara prakaraha. Kathamiti sadhana prakara prashnaha. And by asking how is that transcended? What is the gist of that question? The question means sadhana prakara prashnaha. What is that spiritual practice? Or what is that sadhanam? What is that tool through which he has transcended? So now Shri Bhagavan answers. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Prakashancha pravrittincha. Prakashancha pravrittincha. Mohameva cha Pandava. Mohameva cha Pandava. Nadveshti sampravrittani.
Nadveshti sampravrittani.
Na nivrittani kankshati.
Na nivrittani kankshati.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Shri Bhagavan spoke. The Lord spoke. Prakashancha pravrittincha moham. Evacha Pandava, he Pandava, O Arjuna. These three, Prakasha, Pravritti, and Moha. What do they respectively mean? Prakasha means the light. It means Sattva Guna. Pravritti means movement. That means Rajoguna. Moha means delusion, ignorance, both. Mohameva cha Pandava, all these three. So Sattva, Raja, and Tama. He Pandava, these three gunas. Nadveshti sampravrittani. He doesn't hate when they are active. Meaning, when the Sattva guna, Rajo guna, or Tamo guna, whichever may be the guna at play, he does not hate them. Okay? Nadveshti, nanivrittani kankshati. He doesn't even wait for them to be withdrawn, to go away, to retire. Nakangshati, he doesn't desire. So if they are there, he does not hate and does not even desire their going away. As against us, when in confusion, we would want knowledge. So that time when the tamoguna is there, you want sattva-guna. When rajoguna is there, you may want, when am I going to rest? So tamoguna is desired, and so on and so forth. So we look for a change, for a transformation all the time. Or in fact, even when there is, knowledge also there, some people get tired. Oh, how much this Brahma, you people will do now. We should do something else. Let's go to a restaurant and eat nice food. So now they desire Rajoguna. Oh, this is so boring. It was better if I should go to sleep, and so they fall to sleep. So tamoguna. So na dveshti sampravrittani, na nivrittani kankshati. When there, he does not hate, nor does he desire their cessation. Na kankshati, he Pandava. So first thing, we will go through how Vidyaranya Swamiji wants us to understand, but let us look at the word meaning of this shloka. Udasina vadasino, udasina vadasino, gunairyo na vichalyate, gunairyo na vichalyate, guna vartanta ityeva, guna vartanta ityeva. Yo vatishtati nengate, yo vatishtati nengate, udasina vadasinaha. He is centered, asinaha. Asina means seated. Seated like what? Like the one who is seated above. Udasina, with indifference. There is a remarkable indifference. Udasina vadasinaha. Towards what? What is his udasinata towards? Towards all the three gunas. Gunaid yona vichalyate. And the one who is not shaken by the gunas. He who is not disturbed by the gunas, na vichalyate, gunavartanta ityeva, and he sees that whatever that you may desire is again in the realm of gunas only, is going to be in the realm of samsara. We desire one object over the other object, but let us not forget that the first object which you are wanting to get away from was also of the three gunas, and the other object is also of three gunas. It is nothing but the old wine in new bottle. So that we think we are making great, intelligent choices over there, but after all, you are choosing nothing else but the three gunas only. So therefore, gunavartanta ityeva yovatishtati nengate, and thus avatishtati, he stands still. Na ingate means does not, what do they call it? What happens? Flicker. Does not flicker. Nengate, does not flicker. Sama dukkha sukha svasthaha, sama dukkha sukha svasthaha, samaloštashma kanchanaha, samaloštashma kanchanaha, tulya priya priyo dhiraha, tulya priya priyo dhiraha, tulya nindatma samstutihi, tulyanindatma samstutihi samadukha sukha swasta. Look at that. Whether it was that, what do they call, the Sthita Prajna or the Bhagavad Bhakta, and now over here in the Gunatita also, Samatvam, his equanimity, his equipoise, his fulcrum of balance is never lost. Samadukha sukha swasthaha. So the first word is Samadukha sukha. Samadukha sukha is again Bahuvrihi. So he says Samadukha sukha. How is he? He is equanimous towards dukkha as well as sukha. What has allowed him to see the dukkha and sukha also as same? Because for ordinary person, we feel that there is a choice of sukham over dukkham. He sees that both of them are equal. What is that? So how is he able to see both of them when they both are two different and opposite poles? What does he see them to be equal as? Samadukha sukhaha. And then all these things, these are the issues that we have to see. But this is what is said about the Gunatita. So Samadukha sukhaha, swasthaha, centered in himself. Where is he centered? In himself, in the self. Centered not in the body or in the senses or in the sense of ego. Where is he centered? In the self, swasthaha. You know, there's a very interesting thing that I read once. They were explaining the word eccentric. Eccentric means the one who has moved away from the center. Away from the center. How does Bhagavan Patanjali say what happens to the Purusha in the Samadhi Avastha? Avasthanam, Swarupe Avasthanam. The Drashta, the seer, is seated in his own being. Swarupe Avasthanam. Swasthaha also means exactly centered, seated in his own being, not in that what he is not. The body, mind, senses, and the ego, everything is subject to coming and going. But that which has never moved, never gone, which has not come or will not go, is the self. That is the substratum on which Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti come and live. But this consciousness never comes and does not leave. So that being I am. So this knowledge remains ever shining, untainted, unclouded, and that is what is indicated over here by the word swasthaha, seated in his own being. Samaloshtashmakanchanaha. Then for him, the kanchana means gold, wealth. Ashma means a stone. And loshta means a lump of clay. All of them are equal. Hey, is not that very interesting? After all, what is gold? The shiny materials, the shiny earth is called as gold. The hard earth, you call it as stone. Oh, this is a precious stone. It is stone after all. And then the earth which is softer is what you call as clay. But all the three are the Prithvi Vikaras, modification, Prithvi presenting itself in these three forms. It is Prithvi after all. Like that, Samaloshtasmakanchanaha, Tulya Priya Priyaha Apriyaha. For him, pleasant and unpleasant also are equal. So in one way, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, both are bound to come and go. By you saying that the pleasant should stay, the pleasant is not going to stay. And by you constantly saying that, the unpleasant should go, it will go when it has to go. So therefore, what is the status of this Priya and Apriya, pleasant and unpleasant? Both of them are just guests. They are bound to leave. So, Tulya Priya Priyaha, Dhiraha. Dhira means the one with fortitude, Dhairyam, courage to withstand. The one who doesn't get cowed down by circumstances, etc., is Dhiraha. Did I not tell you the other day that, when in my childhood, my parents had taken me to visit some saint. And, there was a sentence written on the wall once. This Mahatma must have spoken to someone. It was in Marathi, and it said that घाबरायचं काय, आकाश पडलं तर दुसरं आकाश असेल. Scared of what? Even if the sky falls down, there will be yet another sky above that. What are you scared of? Dhiraha. So this quality, no matter how what do they, pratikula? Pratikula means? Adverse the condition may be. No matter how adverse the condition may be, to withstand, theek hai, jo hona hai hoga. And that's why, when people have asked me to say that, Swamiji, there is so much of tension at work and family, I have often said, just think about this. What could be the worst of worst consequence? Go to the farthest end and see what could be the worst. Kya hoga? At the most, what will happen? Ask this. And whatever is going to be the result then after is not that worse. It will be something better. So you still are okay. So dhairyam means that courage, the fortitude to withstand. Okay. When a person is able to say, okay, theek hai, chalo aage. Now let's go ahead. Dhiraha tulya nindatma samstutihi, and the one for whom ninda means censure, and atma samstuti, his praise, are equal. The one for whom ninda and atma samstuti is equal, such a person is gunatita. Manapamanayostullyaha, tulyo mitrari pakshayoho, tulya mitrari pakshayoho, sarvarambha parityagi, sarvarambha parityagi, gunatitasa uchyate, gunatitasa uchyate. Manapamanayostullyaha. Mana means the words of honor or actions of honor. It is just not through words that you honor someone, but even through your actions, the way you speak, the way you present yourself, or you present something to a person. This is all, the ways of paying your respect, honoring someone. Man and apamana means humiliation, dishonor, both of these, and in life, both will come. Our demand is no. Apamana should never come, ninda should never come, apriya should never come, dukkha should never come. Only there should be sukham, and people should always keep on praising me. People should always keep on, the life should present me with pleasantness only, and nobody should ever, dishonor me. Wherever I go, I should be respected. That's the demand. But when you're demanding one thing, don't forget, the other is bound to follow like a shadow. The higher you climb, deeper the valley becomes. Deeper the valley becomes. मान चाहिए तो अपमान भी आएगा, प्रिय चाहिए तो अप्रिय भी सहना पड़ेगा. दोनों ही है. But we feel that we have a choice to make over here. No choice. If you want to reach the summit of the mountain, then you will have to see the deep valley. Manapamana yostulyaha tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. And he is also equal with both the sides. The mitra means those who are well-wishers and friendly or friends, and ari, those who are hell-bent on doing some nuksan, some damage, harm, enemies. He is equal to friends and foes. Equal means to him both of them are equal. In fact, this principle was well demonstrated in Bhagavan Shri Krishna's life. When, after the war, this Ashwatthama had released the Brahmastra, which goes and, with its fire, with its brilliance, with its, heat, was burning the fetus of Uttara. And according to the version of Mahabharata, the fetus is born dead. The baby is born dead. Uttara is totally devastated because her husband already has died in the battle. Now, the one reason that she was able to keep herself alive was just with the hope for the baby that was in her womb, and the baby is also stillborn, is dead. So she comes to Shri Krishna and says, "What is this? Why have you kept me alive? I was ready to die, and you said that you have to live for the baby." Hanji.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, Aradhana, what do you want?
Sorry, Swamiji. My phone went off.
Okay. So, the baby is born dead. And she comes to Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna lifts that baby and says, if I have special love towards Pandavas, and if ever I have had any hatred towards Kauravas, may this baby not come to life. And the baby came to life. Though it is seen that Shri Krishna is on the Pandavas' side, in fact, he has driven the chariot of Arjuna. And when Arjuna was wanting to withdraw from the battle, Shri Krishna imparts him that knowledge. With that vision, Arjuna finds his enthusiasm and courage to fight the battle again. So people have accused Shri Krishna of saying that, he's the one who was partial, etc. But there was this demonstration that the baby comes to life when Shri Krishna says, I have not taken anyone. If I have taken anyone's side, may the baby not come to life. And it comes. So, Tulya Mitrari Pakshayoho. There are other things also over here. Those who are your friends today can become your enemies tomorrow. Those who are your enemies today can become your friends tomorrow. We don't see that happening all the time? You know what is horse trading in the politics? So somebody asked, which party do you belong to? So this fellow who was all the time changing parties, he said, I belong to only one party. My loyalty is, people were like, what are you saying? He said, I belong to only one party, and whichever party is the ruling party, I belong to that. So you see, Tulya Mitrari Pakshayoho, Sarvarambha Parityagi, the one who gives up all the arambha. Arambha means those, now this also goes into indicating sannyasa. Those activities which are meant for procuring, acquiring wealth, properties, etc. is called as arambha. Or sarva, all kriya, all karma. Parityagi, gunatita sauchyate. Such a person is called as gunatita. Okay, the one who has transcended the gunas. Mam chayo vyabhicharena. Mam chayo vyabhicharena. Bhakti yogena sevate. Bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan samatityaitan. Sagunan samatityaitan. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam chayo avyabhicharena. Over there is an avagraha. Otherwise, you will think vyabhicharena sevate. No, avyabhicharena sevate. The grammar is sitting over there to say it is avyabhicharena sevate. The one who serves me means is devoted to Ishvara. Vyabhichara would mean with divided loyalty. Or the one without commitment. So avyabhichara over here means the one who is totally committed. The one who is totally committed to Parameshwara. And how committed to Parameshwara? How? His seva is avyabhicharena, bhakti yogena. His bhakti yoga is avyabhichari. His bhakti is not something that is bereft of commitment. We have bhakti, but that bhakti is sometimes there, sometimes it just disappears. You never know, oh my God, where has it gone? No. Avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Serves me with avyabhichari bhakti yoga. Thus, he transcends all gunas and Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, and becomes capable of attaining moksha. Now, Brahma Bhuyaya, to become Brahman, he Kalpate, he has that yogyata. Now, look at the commentary part of it. We will have to go through the words of the shlokas that we have just seen from verse number 22 to verse number 26 of the 14th chapter. Prakashancha pravrittincha mohamevacha pandava. Prakasha pravritti mohaha. So there are these three things. Prakasha, the light meaning knowledge. Pravritti, meaning involvement and movement. And moha is delusion, by which something remains concealed, not seen properly. Moha. All these three mean what? Sattva, rajas, tamo, gunaha. All these are three. The sattva, rajas, tamo, gunaha. Techa jagrat swapnayoho pravartante. These three gunas are always there in the Jagrat and Swapna. Their bouncing up and down happens in Jagrat and Swapna, in the waking state and in the dream state. Pravartante. Sushupti, Samadhi, Shunya Chitta Vrittitva Avasthasu Nivartante. But they are not seen during Sushupti, the deep sleep state. Okay, they are not seen in the deep sleep state, or samadhi avastha, in the state of absorption, samadhi avastha, or where the chitta is shunyam. Shunyam means almost like, what do they call it?
Unconscious?
No, shunya chitta. Shunya chitta matlab
Vacant.
in a vacant state of mind. Yeah, that also is a good word. Vacant state. समाधि तो पहले ही गिनी गई. शून्य चित्त अवस्था अलग है. शून्य चित्त वृत्तित्व अवस्थासु. Samadhi and Shunya Chitta Vritti. Yeah, you can bring it that way also. Sushupti. Otherwise, I'll have to go through another commentary and see how he looks at the Shunya Chitta Vritti Avastha. Sushupti Samadhi. Samadhi over here can be a Samprajñata Samadhi, and Shunya Chitta Vritti Avastha could mean Asamprajñata Samadhi. Chitta Vritti Nirodha is there even in Samprajñata Samadhi also. Na? Over there, Ekagra Bhumika is there. But Chitta Vritti is still present. And that is Samadhi too. So now you could say the first word Samadhi means Samprajñata Samadhi, and then the other one is Asamprajñata Samadhi. Sushupti, Samadhi, Shunya Chitta Vritti Avasthasu Nivartante. But in these states, these three gunas are not there. Pravrittischa Dvividha. Now this pravritti, which is Rajoguna's karyam, effect, is also twofold. Pravrittischa Dvividha. Anukula Pratikula cha iti. Tatra Anukula means conducive, and Pratikula means that what is not conducive. Is there a word unconducive? No. Non-conducive. Anukula Pratikula chaiti. Tatra mudho jagarane pratikula pravrittim dveshti. So now the one who is mudha over here means the ignorant. What happens to this ignorant? In the waking state, he does not desire those activities which are viewed by him as not conducive to him. He does not. So, jagarane pratikula vrittim dveshti, anukula pravrittim akankshati. And he desires those activities or those things around him which are conducive to him. Okay. Kankshati. But about whom is this? The mood, ignorant. Gunatitasya tu anukula pratikula adhyasa bhavena adhyasa bhavad dvesha kangshe nastaha. But the one who is gunatita, what happens to him? That the concepts of something being conducive and something being not conducive are not there to prejudice, to cause his a bias over there. Anukula pratikula adhyasa bhavena, because this what is conducive to me now, later on you will change your concept and the same thing will become not conducive to you. That's what happens. People fall in love and then we want to live together and marry and then love each other till the end of time. After 1 week, they decide, oh, I've married the wrong person. Now I have to carry on somehow. So, that what is seen as conducive will be seen as not conducive later on. That what you view as not conducive, you may later on appreciate, wow, that, it was a blessing in disguise, good it happened to me. So these are, what is this conducive and non-conducive, pratikula and anukula? These are your own concepts. And these concepts are superimposition. They prejudice the person's mind. So this adhyasa itself is not there, that this is good, this is bad. Such things, anukula, pratikula, ideas are not there for him. And that's why he does not desire nastaha. The homes that we visit, inevitably there is some aging person, and so now this person is also aware that he doesn't have many years to live or something. Then Swamiji Ashirwad Dijiye, Swamiji bless that I should die peacefully in sleep and I should not become dependent on anybody or anything. Give me this blessing. I heard, what kind of a blessing is this? What is this? Why are you conditioning yourself? Now, if there is going to be something, the deterioration of the body is inevitable. How long the body is going to live deteriorating further is all prarabdhadhin. If you have to ask for something, why don't you say that Hamara Paramatma ka smaran bana rahe, whether the body is in a good state or a bad state, does not matter. Does not matter. Why don't you ask for that? Why don't you strive for that instead of saying that, I should be lifting weights and running and jogging and then come back home and then lie flat on the sofa and die? Yeah, what happened after this? तो क्या होगा? गुणातीतस्य तु अनुकूल प्रतिकूलाध्यासा भावाद द्वेषाकांक्षे नस्तः. Both dvesha and akanksha, both is not there in him. Yatha dvayoho kalaham kurvato kurvatah avalokayita kaschit tatastha swayam kevalam udaste natu jaya parajayabhyam itastataha chalyate. Now he is explaining you that udasina word. Udasina vadasinaha. Like when there are two people who are fighting. Now when people are fighting, we generally tend to take sides. He is right, he is wrong, so on and so forth. Dvayoho kalaham kurvataha avalokayita. But there is a third person, unconcerned, indifferent. He watches them fight. Now what? Avalokayita kaschit tatasthaha. He is unaffected by them fighting. And then tatasthaha swayam kevalam udaste. And he sits But now there is this drishyam of people fighting, so he just watches. Now what happens? Swayam kevalam udaste, natu jaya parajaya bhyam itastataha chalyate. And he is not affected by who is the winner and who is the loser. Okay? Jaya parajaya bhyam itastataha na chalyate. He is not moved by that. Tatha gunatito viveki swayam udaste. So also this this viveki purushaha, gunatita means, now he says, is viveki, because he has that sense of discrimination. He understands that all the three gunas is nothing but anatma vastu, and this atma that I am is gunatita. So now he looking at himself and even looking at that those gunas, the world, the body mind complex which is included in that, he udaste, he gets his seat, he sits above all this. His seat is above the three gunas. Audasinyam swayam udaste. Guna guneshu vartante natvaham iti vivekat audasinyam. Now, what is that audasinyam? What is that being seated above, or what does it mean by being indifferent? It means guna guneshu vartante. It is only the gunas playing, it is the interplay of the gunas with each other. Guna guneshu vartante. Natvaham. But not me, but it is not my movement, it is the gunas, movement of the gunas. Iti, audasinyam. And then it is said, na vichalyate, gunaihi yona vichalyate. What is that vichalanam? Vichalanam means being disturbed. He is not being he is not disturbed by the gunas. The one who doesn't flicker with the gunas, by the gunas. What is that vichalanam? He explains, ahameva karomi iti adhyaso vichalanam. What is vichalanam? Ahameva karomi, this kartritva bhava. Aham karomi is vichalanam. Nachasya tadasti. That is not there in this person. There is no sense that, I am the doer, I am doing. No. Whatever is happening through the body, brought about by the mind, as the mind is structured by the samskaras. What am I doing about it? What am I doing? So so therefore, what is vichalanam? Ahameva karomi iti adhyaso vichalanam. Nachasya tadasti tad asya nasti. This vichalanam is not there in him, and therefore he is called as gunatitaha. Now, the next, where Shri Krishna Bhagavan was asked this question by Arjuna, how are his transactions with the world? So these are the various indications so far about him. Now, how is his transaction? How are his transactions with the world? Because even when the knowledge has taken place, that body-mind complex will continue to transact with the world. But what happens? What is the nature of those transactions from that body-mind complex in which the knowledge has taken place is Arjuna's question. So that subject matter is now being treated that question is being answered by Shri Krishna Bhagavan, which we will try to look at when we meet next. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वंदे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहा